Hello everyone, it is AMSatellite or FSat, depending on if you came here from my mobafire guide or my YouTube channel. And today in this video, I'm going to complete my guide on mobafire, with the YouTube video that is focused on every possible thing a good Garen needs to know. Let's start by abilities. All right, this will help you in the early game because the abilities, is the kind of the main core thing for every champion. Your first unlock has to be the decisive strike, which would be your Q. Your Q deals a lot of damage and it will silence your opponent, also giving you a speed boost for a short duration, which is very very good for both engaging or disengaging if you need to run away. And in general it makes it very easy to land because it's definitely good, because it's one of the best level ones in the whole game. It deals a huge amount of damage. You can see me using it a lot in this video. So that needs to be your first unlock. Your second unlock needs to be Judgement. Your Judgement is the main, and is your E, and it's the main source of damage you're going to need, so you need to max this up first. Deals a huge amount of damage, will make you ignore collision as you spin, but however it will slow you down by 20% while you ignore collisions. Your third ability is Courage. It's your W, and it has both an active and a passive ability. Your active ability will reduce by 30% every incoming damage, which includes physical damage, magic damage, true damage, tower damage, every possible damage the game computes. And it's passive, and also always the active, it also will reduce the duration of every crowd control effect on you. So there's that. Your passive ability from Courage, is an increase of 20% in both armor and magic resistance. So if you buy something that gives you a flat amount of armor, you will also get a 20% boost from the extra armor you gain. So there's that. Now let's get into, before we get into our ultimate, let's give a brief explanation on our passive. Your passive activates after a certain amount of time of no damage. So if you take no damage from any champion or monster, minions do not count. They will not stop the counter. So you should keep that in mind. You can get hit by minions, no problem. So if you don't take damage for a specified amount of time, you're going to start regenerating 0.4% of your health at levels 1, 0.8% of your health at level 11, and 0.2% of your health at level 16 every second, which means that at level 16 you're going to regenerate as fast as Dr. Mundo does when he activates his ultimate. Don't know if you get it, but it's fairly high. So there's that. Your ultimate is the last ability we're going to focus on, and it is a finisher ability that deals a flat amount of magic damage. It is magic damage, not true damage. It's magic damage plus a percentage of the enemy's missing health. Now this obviously explains itself on its own. Like, if the fact that it scales from missing health should be kind of an explanation of why you should use it as your last ability, only to make sure the enemies die. It's not going to deal as much damage as they should if you activate it before they reach a critical health level. So there's that. We're done with the abilities, so we can get into summoner spells, and then a brief explanation of what you should do in the early game. Summoner spells, I usually take Flash and Ignite. Ignite is very good with your ultimate because it's going to allow you to deal more damage, more true damage, so fairly good. And it also will make the enemies unable to cure themselves for the duration. Plus, if you ult someone and they survive unexpectedly, you can use your Ignite. It's going to stack up with your ultimate and finish them. So it's very very good. So I would recommend that you take it instead of teleport. We're gonna talk about teleport later. Flash is necessary because you don't. Garen has good mobility thanks to unit collision ignoring, and also a decent degree of resistance, so you shouldn't really need to escape often. But I can assure you that a gap close is very good on Garen because you don't have one by yourself, so you absolutely need Flash. I think it's better than Ghost because you can already get a speed boost, but with your Q you don't need another one. You need the gap close. Teleport is another possible option. I would recommend you take teleport in case your opponent is very powerful and has more sustain than you, which is hard by the way. But I would generally recommend ignite. Now let's get into trading and killing enemies. Now I slowed this clip down for you so it's easier for you to see everything. Now you start with your Q and then you activate your E. If your opponent does not lose a lot of health and turns around to fight you, then you want to use your W, so you take less damage from them. As you can see, while her health bar is destroyed, mine is totally there. So after you've done that, if the enemies have 45% health or lower, you can proceed into using Ignite and your ultimate ability. As you can see in this situation, I didn't activate my shield when she was fighting again, when she was escaping, because she wasn't fighting against me, so it would have been pointless for me to activate it. So your combo is Q, E, W, and R. You can include basic attacks in, but I wouldn't recommend you do that because your basic attacks are very slow and they're going to make you waste some time. And you can also use flash to engage or disengage in this specific situation. Now, one thing I wanted to show you in this clip, this is right after the first kill I got on her, the second kill I've got on her. You can destroy towers amazingly quickly thanks to your Q. Your Q deals damage on towers, so you should always try to push them when you're not ganked. Now here is something that you should keep in mind when you're ganked. If your opponent deals physical damage and the enemy jungler deals magic damage, do not turn around and fight. Run away. Because your tankiness, which is the main advantage you have, will not help you against mixed damage coming from two enemies. So you should try to not fight in that situation, but run. What you're gonna see here is something else. Let's get over to something a little bit more advanced in the game. So say you're in mid-game and you're gonna see this clip, you're going to understand that you can push your lane and you can start roaming. Roaming is something good that you can do because you can help other lanes as well, and maybe, you know, save a friend that is dying, or generally you can get another kill. It's always a good idea to roam because you have no mana, so you know it's not like you're gonna waste your mana or something. The only problem is, as you can see, roaming over confidentially can turn against you. As you can see now, I'm being focused by the whole enemy team. Graves, Irelia, now it's going to pop out. Both Lux and Shaco also popped out, so they're focusing me. What you can do, you can kill one of them if you're tanky enough to take the damage meanwhile, and as you can see, I did that, and I'm also able to run away because they deal no damage to me, not enough to kill me at least. But in general, pay attention. In this situation, I was so lucky my friend Azir came to help me, so you know, it's pretty amazing what you can see here. We're going to turn around and force her to flee as well by using her flash, but you may not be as lucky as I am, so you know, in that case, pay attention. Now let's get into another thing that regards the mid game, which is taking objectives. Now, you can tank towers and dragons and barons, it's one of your main roles, but another important thing that you can do, and that you should do, is to try and keep your opponents off of your friends as they take objectives. You're tanky, so it'll be hard for them to just move you away and proceed into stealing the objective, or you know, in general, being annoying to your friends. So you can tank the objective or try to keep enemies off of your friends while they take it themselves. Now let's get into something else. What you're gonna see is counter jungling. No, you shouldn't really do this every time, but I was kind of mad at Shaco for some reason. I don't remember what it was, and I decided to engage him in the jungle and burst him down. Now let's get into a late game. I'm going to get into itemization a little bit later off. Now, as you can see, into the mid-late game, I'm tanking a tower. That's one of the main jobs you have to do. And you can also see that in general, I'm going to push here and focus specifically the squishy targets in general. Now, let's get this kind of more in depth. You should focus the squishy, dangerous targets. Like in my case, focusing Shaco wasn't the best idea. Although focusing the AD carry or the AP carry is a good idea. It is the best possible thing you can do to help your teammates. So you should try to focus the AD carry or the AP carry late game, and I assure you your burst will almost always kill them because they're squishy. They're generally squishy. So you're gonna see me do the same thing here. except it was just almost just him. He was following me because he was stupid. Like, you never chase Garen. That's stupid, because his cooldowns will make you cry if you do that. And I'm going to burst him down. Your burst is as usual the same. You're gonna get to see the same burst again. And my tankiness is also going to make me survive the gank. So you can see, in general, focus the AD carry, focus the epic carry, and you will do a good job as a tank and also as a bruiser for your team. So you can do both things together, except you're tankier than most tanks in the whole game. So that's fairly unbalanced on one side. Now let's get into the very late game. You're gonna see here, I'm going to try and keep the enemy's attention on me. The smart enemies will not do that. They will focus specific targets like you do, focusing the AD carry and that kind of thing. And you need to protect them by trying to make enemies focus you. Like, as you can see, this Lux is focusing me, and all my friends are able to poke her and make her go away. So in general, you should try to draw their attention on you. Now, let's go with itemization. It's time for me to explain you what items you should get. Now, to start, I would generally recommend you start with a cloth armor against physical damage opponents. And in general, it is also very good to start with boots against magic opponents, because magic opponents usually have skill shots, and in general they have abilities that are ranged and that need time to travel and could miss you. So, you know, boots can help you a lot, especially against ranged opponents, no matter what type of damage they deal or not. So there's so you know, that's one more important thing to keep in mind for starts. Doran Shield is obviously the best item to start with every tank, but I generally prefer raw armor because it stacks up with my Courageous passive, and it's very nice. Let's get into mid game items. You should focus on counter building your opponent. So if your opponent in lane deals physical damage, then you want to get armor. If your laning opponent deals magical damage, you need to focus on magic resistance. You do need the Brutalizer in any case, because the Brutalizer is your core damage item for early to mid game, and it will amazingly boost your killing potential. You saw this in this video, so you know it's proof that you do need that, and you should get it as fast as you can after getting some resistance. So I think we're done with mid game items. Of course, you need boots, and you should decide boots based on the type of opponent you're fighting. You may be fighting against an opponent that is auto attack based, and in that case you would want Ninja Tabi. But if they deal AD casting and that kind of stuff, you might want Mercury's Threads for the added tenacity. Let's get into the late game items now, the main core items of your build. You should focus on getting the Black Lever as your main and probably only damage item, because it gives you a lot of attack damage, and it's very good with its other stats too, cooldown reduction, health and armor penetration. Plus its passive will also reduce armor of your enemies for your teammates to kill. Then your main defensive items should be the Sunfire Cape, because you know armor and health is good on Garen, and its passive ability is also very nice, because you know dealing magic damage in an area of effect is also pretty good. Then you also have then you get Spirit Visage, which is very good. It will boost your passive by a lot. And then Omen Randuin's Omen. Spirit Visage is for your magic resistance, by the way. Randuin's Omen will give you a lot of health, a lot of armor. It will slow down enemies' basic attacks, and we won the game in this clip, as you can see. And it'll also give you a huge amount of a good slow area of effect. You lack hard CCs, so a slow is very nice on Garen in pretty much every game you're gonna play. So there's that. Other items that are viable, well, I usually take both Sunfire Cape and Omen and Randuin's Omen, because they're both very nice items and they stack well with your kit. And I would also recommend that you do take Maw of Malmortius. Many people don't take that on Garen, but I do. It's damage, a good passive ability that will save your life very often, and it's always more tankiness due to the added magic resistance. So do get that item because it's very nice on Garen. Other valuable items exist, but I'm not going to cover all of them in this guide because this was supposed to be a short video. It is also it is already 15 minutes long, so it's not exactly short. I'm going to cut the video here. You're going to, if you want more information on Garen, more possibilities on Garen, please check out my guide. It's on mobafire.com, and I think I'm going to also take it to some other websites if it gets enough success. And I would really recommend you check it out because there's much more information on it than in this video, and you can kind of have a more in-depth tips and tricks for this champion. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've covered every part of the game, every ability Garen has, every possible item, well, every item that I usually take on him, and I think this sums it up fairly well. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys liked my guide, and I hope you guys check it out if you haven't already. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Just keep in mind, I don't do League of Legends only. I like to change it up every time I can. Alright guys, this is it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.